Yeah, there you go. YouTube going. All right, guys. Hi. Welcome to the webinar, everybody. I hope everyone's having a great day so far today. Is everything good? Is my mic working? Everything good? Okay, perfect. Awesome. Yeah, great. There you go. YouTube going. Let me mute. All right, guys. Hi. Welcome to the web. We're muting that. So we're broadcasting live on YouTube as well for anyone that wants to see, or for anyone that's watching on YouTube. So thank you everyone for joining. I know it's a holiday week, and this is definitely an exciting thing to show off during this holiday week. I hope everyone's having a great time so far. I hope everyone has a great New Year's after this as well. It's I can't believe it's already the end of 2020, finally, right? We're just waiting for a few more people to join. We have a pretty good attendance today. We had a lot of people show up, and for those of you that can't make it, we're also going to send out the recording. So maybe you're watching this as a recording, maybe you're watching this on YouTube. This is all over the place, but we'll be sending it out after as well. And for anyone that wants to rewatch this afterwards, they'll have the recording, and we're also going to send over the slides so you have access to all that too. Okay. I see here someone raised their hand. If you guys want to ask any questions, by the way, so I see hi here. Someone wrote in the chat. If you guys have any questions throughout, feel free to post to either the chat or to our Q&A. Right, so we're both we're going to be listening to both of these and checking throughout the entire webinar. We'll give time at the end as well, but if you want to ask questions throughout, you could do that as well. All right. So without further ado, let me share my screen here. All right, so sharing the screen. You see it? Okay, great. So this is our presentation for today. We're going to go over this agenda. So what we're going over today is, first of all, we're going to introduce you a little bit to Lumi Wealth and kind of what we're all about and what we do and some of our plans. Then we're going to talk about algorithmic trading, the tools we're going to be using during this webinar. And then we're going to show you this code, and we're going to show you a nice demo of how our trading bot works and basically what you're going to be able to create after going through one of our courses, right? I'll also show you where you could see some videos by some of our past students, and they've actually created some bots as well. So not only can you see ours working, but you can see theirs working as well. So you can get a flavor for all the different things that you can create after coming out of this, this course, right? So first of all, who am I? So my name is Robert Grezik. I've been writing software code for, I think, 20 years now, probably longer than that, actually. I used to work on Wall Street, so I used to run actually software teams on Wall Street. I was, for example, the founder of a company called Voyager, which is one of the founders, so it was employee number 4, right, of a company called Voyager, which is taking off like crazy right now, actually, on the stock market. It's a cryptocurrency broker, right? So there's a Coinbase going public. We've been public for a while, so that's one of the companies I helped found, and we actually laid all the groundwork software-wise for that company. I used to also manage a software team at Greystone, and we've built all sorts of things there for real estate lending. I think to date, we've probably put through $30 billion for a system that my team created. Again, this is a team that I hired and then created. We created this product together at Greystone, the mortgage lender. All right. That's kind of my background, been managing software teams for a while. What is Lumi Wealth? Lumi Wealth is, and let me go to the website as well here. So Lumi Wealth, what we do is we essentially teach people how to code, but we're a little bit more specific than that. We teach people in the finance industry, or people who want to get into the finance industry, or people who just love stock trading or trading commodities, options, crypto, you name it. We'll teach you how to code, how to optimize your trading, how to get that upgrade in the job that you're looking at. If you're looking to get into a job in finance, I know there's a lot of demand for people with Python skills these days. So we'll teach you how to do that. We'll also help you with interview prep. We also have a network of recruiters and companies that we work with. So if you're looking to get a job, this is also kind of what we do, right? So we help a lot with these algorithmic trading. We help a lot with getting you jobs in the finance industry, specifically on the software angle, right? So this is our website. You can check out our website. Our main course is here. This is our algo trading course. This is probably what most of you guys are interested in, although I must also say we're coming out with a new course soon as well on machine learning for finance. It's probably not going to start until March, but it's going to be really, really cool. Taught by a very, very smart person, Stanford grad, all sorts of amazing credentials. And I'll let you guys know when that actually launches and when we have everything ready. We'll be sending out a series of emails, so watch out for those. But this is probably what you guys are most interested in, our algorithmic trading course. And I'll show you basically what you're going to be able to create after going through this course, right? We have a few different plans. We have videos only, where you could basically watch pre-recorded, all our past live videos. You could watch pre-recorded with our videos only plan. With our live plan, this is definitely our most popular. We have basically Zoom video. So basically we go live on Zoom. You're going to be able to interact with other students. You're going to be able to ask the instructors questions. So in this case, this class, I'm the instructor. So you'll be able to ask me questions live. If you have any questions throughout the course, we can get on a phone call, all that sort of thing. We also have assignments that you get to build out and you get to have graded and looked at and seeing if you're learning the material properly. And then we also build out 2 different projects throughout the course, one of which is a research project. They'll basically teach you how to figure out, is your investment strategy going to work? We help you do the research, download data, all that sort of stuff, and then basically back test your investment strategy, which means let's take a look at the past 20, 30 years or 40 years. How would your strategy have done? And if it's something that would have done well over the past 40 years, and I'll show you kind of how it's working with us through the demo. If it worked over the past 40 years, then you can reasonably say it might work over the next 40. So let's actually trade off of that. And then we'll help you build that robot that will actually buy and sell those stocks for you based on all that information, right? So those are the projects that you build throughout this course. It's going to be something very interesting. And I'll tell you, our students love the course. Read our reviews, check out the videos. We've had a lot of very happy students coming out of this, and they've built their own bots, learned how to code in a very fun and interactive way. So it's definitely our top course, this one here, the live class. Then we also have our project plan, which is basically teaching you how to, or actually it's more one-on-one tutoring. So you get to interact with the instructor, most likely myself, but it could be someone else depending on when you actually sign up. Of course, we'll make sure that you know who you're speaking to beforehand. But this project plan will basically teach you live one-on-one, right? And then over here, we have our plans, the pricing, and you can actually purchase through here. For our live class, you click here, see available dates, and you get to see when they actually start. We have one class starting in January, and we have another class starting in March. These classes basically go for 12 weeks long. First 4 weeks, like I said, is kind of like the basics of, and actually you can see a curriculum down here if it's something that you want to go through. Those are reviews. Our curriculum is right here. You could see the first 4 weeks, part 1 is what we call it. We'll kind of introduce you to coding and data science. We'll teach you the basics, right? Part 2 will teach you how to apply that data science to the finance world. So we'll teach you all that back testing. We'll teach you all sorts of great stuff about how to do research using data science for the finance field, right? And even in this first section, we'll even do it with the finance flavor when we're teaching you data science. And the third part, we help you build this actual trading robot out, right? Which will teach you how to connect to brokers and all the different trades they can do with them and all those goodies, right? So that's kind of a curriculum there. So it goes for 12 weeks, and essentially starting on January 27th at Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Or if you want to join in March, we also have one starting there as well on March 18th, or sorry, March 15th. So these are start dates, right? January 27th, March 25th, right? The one's every Wednesday, the other one's every Thursday. They both start at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, right? And it's 1 hour a week over Zoom. It's about 15 hours, or 10 to 15 hours is probably the amount of hours you'll have to put in to learn this course. Except if you've had probably prior programming experience, it might not take you as long as others, right? Okay, so that's Lumi Wealth. That's our Python for Finance course. Another thing I want to tell you guys about is our Discord channel. People love this Discord channel. This is the first thing that you saw here. We are constantly on here. There's our existing students right now they can speak to, past students you can speak to, and just we have a very vibrant community of a lot of people talking about all things algorithmic trading, right? So please join the community. I think you'll very much enjoy it. There's a lot of great people to speak to. It's a chat room. So if you guys are familiar with Discord, you basically go on there, you chat. You could even do like video calls and voice calls through there as well. So this is a very vibrant community. I strongly encourage you to join. You probably have an email or a text message somewhere with a link to it. But also when we send out this presentation, I'll give you this link as well. So you'll be able to go in there and join. I guarantee you won't regret it. Everyone's been very happy with the community, right? And then for anyone that's interested, if you want the code and you want the recording of today's lesson, when you buy the course, you'll get the recording and you also get the access to the code, right? Which is the important part, because this code is something that will really help you get started with that bot and get moving a lot faster building out an algorithmic trading bot. Okay. And then also one really quick thing to say, we have a survey at the end of the webinar. Please fill out that survey. It helps us make these webinars better for you and for others going forward. So please fill it out and let us know what you thought and what you want to see in the future. All right. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, so algorithmic trading, what is it? So first of all, algo trading, what it means exactly is using computer programs to buy and sell stocks automatically. Stocks, bonds, crypto, Forex, binary options, all sorts of stuff. But you're basically using an algorithm, you're using a computer program to buy and sell this stuff for you automatically, right? Why is this important? Why do we care about this? Well, some of the best hedge funds in the world are using this right now. For some examples here is Renaissance Technologies. These guys have been doing extremely well for a very long time. Last I checked, they had $110 billion in assets. They probably have even more than that now. To be honest with you, they could have even more, but they decided to not even take on any more investors. They, at one point, one of their funds just said, we're not accepting any new investment. We don't want it. We have our own money. We don't need any more. So they actually gave back investors money because they didn't want it anymore, right? That's how successful they are. They make, last time I checked and last time we saw, it was 39% return per year on average. So imagine that. Imagine making 40% a year for, what is this? I think a 30-year period. It is absolutely astronomical. And this is, by the way, with very low volatility. It's very consistently 40% a year, right? When you look at their returns over the past few years, they have just made a killing. These guys that started Renaissance Technologies, there's an interesting book that you can read, The Man Who Solved the Market. These guys at one point were making so much money that they were just buying random mansions all around the country, and they didn't even go to them. They didn't care. It's just like an absurd amount of money. They're very, very successful, did very, very well as an investment fund. And also think about 40% on that much money is very hard to do too. So if you're someone who's doing smaller algorithms, chances are you could probably even beat that. I'm not saying guaranteed, but there's a good chance that if you spend the time, you could figure out a way to actually even beat those types of returns. Some other examples of this, Two Sigma, another really good quantitative hedge fund. They do the same thing, algorithmic trading. They have 60 billion in assets. Citadel's another one, 32 billion. Bridgewater's another one, 140 billion. They're all extremely successful. It's a very well-known thing on Wall Street that the quants are taking over. If you guys ever watched the show Billions, they even had a whole thing about this. This is a very well-known thing on Wall Street that the algorithms are the ones that are making the money right now. So that's why we care about this. And not to mention, if you want to have a job at one of these companies, their starting salaries are around $130,000 a year base. That does not include bonuses, right? So people at these companies are making, $500,000 a year, $1 million a year and up, right? These are very successful companies, and the employees there are making just ridiculous amounts of money, right? Yeah, so as I said, we're using software to analyze data and make trades, which is basically what we teach you how to do in this course, right? And then sometimes, not always do you have an algorithm actually executing the trade. Sometimes you want to just have it notify you when to buy, and the person actually makes a purchase. You can do that as well. And some of our students have opted to do that. So instead of having this thing automatically buying and selling for you, it'll just notify them through a text message, and then they go into Robinhood and they purchase it, right? That's another thing that's possible as well, in case you want to have a little bit more control. So that's something that companies like Bridgewater do as well, is they have that sort of mechanism where they have just a just in case kind of situation, right? So we will teach you how to do all that sort of stuff within this course, right? Okay. So to tell you about some of the tools we'll be using, we're going to be using Alpaca, which is our broker, right? The reason why we use Alpaca, and this is it right here, you go to alpaca.markets. It's not alpaca.com, it's alpaca.markets. You can search in Google. They're a fantastic broker to learn on. They have a great API to work with. It's very, very easy to get started with them, and they have commission-free trades, right? So they're a great broker to get started. We could also help you get connected to other brokers if that's what you're trying to get into. TD Ameritrade is a very popular one. Interactive Brokers is another popular one. We can help you set up with those brokers as well, right? Okay, we're also going to be using Python 3, right? Which is, we use the third version of Python. Python 2 is starting to go the way of the dodo. So we're working with the newest technology here, and we'll teach you how to use Python 3. We're also going to be using Pandas, which is basically, if you do data science and you don't know what Pandas is, you're not a data scientist. It's basically like Excel on steroids. Everybody uses it. This is the basic, most most useful type of programming thing for when it comes to data science. So we're going to be using Pandas, and then we're also going to be using something called Visual Studio, which is how we actually edited our code. Is this thing right here? You can basically see there's a bunch of code here. You can go around different folders, open up files, edit things, and that's another one of the tools that we use, and actually highly recommend working with as well. Okay, those are our tools. Our code, to kind of talk about what our code is like, and I'm going to go over the code really quickly, just so I could have more time to show you guys specifically how to, or the demo of how this actually works, right? But to go over the code really quickly, we allow you to create strategies on the fly, right? So we have a folder here called strategies, and we give you a couple examples. It's very easy for you to create new strategies. I could show you exactly how this all works. And it's very, very simple to get started and build your own trading bot from this, right? Then we have a bunch of different data sources, right? And you'll see data sources here. We have Alpaca, we have Yahoo. We're adding more and more as we go, and it's very easy for you to add in your own data source as well. If you want to listen to, Twitter or Reddit or whatever else, you can use those as data sources too. This is kind of our framework that we have here. We use different brokers. As I said, we use Alpaca for the most part. TD Ameritrade is one that we're working on, and you'll be able to add on as well. It's very flexible, our code, so you can actually work with all this stuff. And then it's, as I said, it's very easy for you to add in your own strategy, which is what we are really aiming for here. We want you to join our course and learn a lot about how to code, and then very easily get your own bot up and running and start making your own trades and start making your own money with the different trading ideas that you have, right? Okay. And we just added in also back testing, which is very cool. So it allows you to create a trading strategy, and I'll show you this actually. It allows you to create a trading strategy, test it over the past 10, 15, 20 years. How would it have done, especially comparing it to something like a benchmark like the S&P 500, right? And then if you're satisfied with that and it's working well, then you hit live and it starts trading for you, right? Okay. And then, of course, like I said, when you join our courses, you get access to all this code, right? And we'll show you how to build out something like this. I'll give you access to this code so you can actually see the example or work off of our framework, whatever is easiest and most desirable for you, right? Okay, so let's get started with the demo, right? I'm going to walk you through the code really quickly, and then I'm going to show you this actually working, right? So when this is working, we're going to be watching this trading bot here, or we're going to watch our broker here. We're going to see the actual trades being executed by the robot, right? So I'm not executing any of these trades. It's all going to be executed by this bot that we have created, right? So let's go into this code. As I said, we have a bunch of different things in here. We have different strategies as examples for you so that you can actually work off of these strategies. You can create your own from these. It's very easy for you to get started. And we have a bunch of different examples here for you to get started with, right? We have our tools here. Basically, there's a bunch of like little tools that you can work with to make your life a lot easier to get started with trading. We have our traders, which is basically just running things. We have our brokers, like I said, Alpaca, TD Ameritrade. Then we have our back testing, which is basically how we're going to be checking our strategies, right? So I'm going to go into our main file here, okay? And if you're familiar with Python, this works just like a library. You can import all these things. So it's not like a framework where you have to specifically use this folder structure. You can import it like a library and just use it in whatever project you want. You can put this on your server. You can do all sorts of things, right? And now when you're going through this, this is basically our code here. We set a budget of $40,000 for each of one of our strategies, and we set our back testing dates. We could change these dates here to be, whatever dates we want. Okay, I just set randomly 2018, so we could back test from that time period. Okay, and then we have our different strategies here that are all mapped. Okay, so let's try one of our first strategies here. We're going to run the momentum strategy, and I'm going to run the momentum strategy first because this is the way that you should be running this when you're creating. And we'll, again, in the course, we'll teach you how to do this sort of thing. First, you want to be doing your research, and first you want to be finding out, is this strategy going to work or not, right? So this is what we do. So we go in here, strategy. Let's say we've built out our momentum strategy. Okay, we have these very convenient methods. We initialize everything. We basically say we're using 3 different symbols here, okay? And what we're doing with momentum is we're looking at these 3 symbols, SPY, VEU, AGG, and we're looking over a time period. We're saying, I think in this case, every 1 day, right? Which one of these did the best over the past 1 day? We change that to be over the past 100 days or the past 200 days, 300 days. Which one of them did the best? And then basically just buy that one and stick with it, right? So very typical momentum. Which stock is doing the best? Buy that one, stick to it. And that's it. And this is like a long-term momentum strategy. This is one that will run over days, right? And you can see all the code here. This is essentially how it works. We're tracing the stats. There's a bunch of things in here, right? But the meat of it is really this code. So this is basically all you need to get your own strategy running is this code right here, right? That's it. It's, what is that? 40 lines of code. It's very, very small amounts, right? So it's very easy to get going. Okay. And this does all that heavy lifting. The library does all that heavy lifting for you, right? So when we run this, first, like I said, we're going to do the back testing. So let's test it out. We're going to run, and you'll see what this is doing. This is getting the past, or I guess from 2018 to 2019, right? Because we set those dates. Is getting all those dates, and it's saying if we took our strategy and we ran it over those dates, right? What would have happened, right? What would have happened in 2018 if we had run this strategy, okay? Well, we see here, the result was we had an average return or an annual return of 7.5%, okay? We had a volatility of 10%, which gives us a Sharpe ratio, if you're familiar with finance, of 0.5%. It's basically a ratio of risk to return, right? Max drawdown, so the biggest loss that we would have ever had, it was 9%, and gives us a ROMAD, which is basically a measure of risk to return, but with a max drawdown of 82, right? So it's pretty good. And it's especially very good if we're considering what happened to the S&P 500 that year. S&P 500 that year had a return of negative 3% as compared to our strategy that would have made 7.5%. Volatility would have been 17%, right? Versus our 10%. So it would have been riskier, would have lost money, right? And we had a Sharpe ratio that's negative, right? Because of course, if you have a negative return, you have a negative Sharpe ratio, right? And the biggest loss would have been about 19%, okay? Versus our 9%. So our strategy would have smoked the S&P 500 in 2018, right? So this definitely would have been a good strategy for you to be following in that year, okay? Great. So, okay. So this makes sense. Let's try it out. Let's actually do this live, right? So let's go back to our broker here. And this is, you could see there's nothing in our portfolio. And what we're going to do is basically the exact command that we ran before. We're just going to go -L, which means live, right? So you have the same code back testing, right? And the same code actually executing, right? Which is very useful. And again, you go through our course, we'll teach you why this is so important and that sort of thing. But it makes it very, very easy for you to run. We hit live, okay? And you'll see here it's going to be running its calculations and it's saying, it bought VEU at 58.80. And the reason why is because it looked at these. VEU had the highest return over the past day, right? As compared to SPY and AGG, they didn't do very well. We go to our broker, we see that we now own VEU, okay? You keep this thing running, it will automatically sell this and buy other ones, sell this and buy other ones, day by day, automatically following the strategy, right? So it's great. So we've been able to back test our strategy. We saw that it's something that could actually be a very good strategy for us. Now we ran it live and it's actually running live. Very easy to go seamlessly from one to the other, right? Great, perfect. So that's one strategy. Let's show you another one, okay? Because we have a bunch here that we could show off. Let's show you our diversification strategy, okay? Now this strategy, essentially what it is it's using Ray Dalio. So he's the CEO of, what's it called? Of Bridgewater Associates. So a huge hedge fund that we were talking about earlier, $140 billion or something that he manages. It's absolutely massive hedge fund. They've done very well over many years. And this is the strategy that he recommends, right? He recommends something called the all-weather strategy, where what you do is you put 30% of your money into S&P 500. You put 40% of your money into long-term bonds or TLT, 15% of your money into IEF, 7.5% of your money into gold, and then another 7.5% into a basket of commodities, right? So very well diversified, essentially, right? And then basically what you're doing is you're just rebalancing this. You're making sure that you're keeping those ratios. So if the stock market does really well, S&P 500 does really well, then you sell that and you reallocate that money into another part, right? So you're keeping those ratios day by day, okay? So now when we run this, and again, this is, again, very simple to get up and running. This strategy does not take very long to build out. It's not that many lines of code. So it's very easy for you to build this or build something similar or modify it. You'll have access to all this code, right? When we run this, let's see how this strategy would have performed in 2018, the same date range, right? So again, it's taking all those dates. You see all these things flying around. Basically, it's just looking day by day by day. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? And it's just buying and selling things on a daily basis, right? And it's going over that entire year, figuring out what kind of money would we have made over 2018. So it's back testing, right? That's what we say when we say back testing, okay? We see here, we would have made a negative 0.11% return with a very low volatility of 6%. So very low volatility, still a negative Sharpe ratio, but not that bad, right? And only a loss of 5%, right? So we still would have beat the S&P 500, still would have lost some money, but barely anything, versus if you just bought the S&P 500, you would have lost 3%. If you had owned this, you would have only lost pretty much zero. You would have just pretty much broken even, right? Volatility would have been much, much lower, which is the advantage that Ray Dalio says. Diversification reduces risk, right? Well, it doesn't affect the return too much. Okay. The Sharpe ratio is still, it looks a little low, but it's just because of the mathematical things that happen when things go negative. And the max drawdown, again, it was 18% that year. We would have only lost 5 at the worst point, right? So again, also doing better than S&P 500 that year. This is a strategy that works. This seems like something that's interesting. You know what? Let's try it out. Let's actually have this thing run live, right? So again, just like how we did it with the other one, same command, we just go -L. That's it, right? Let's run that. Okay, and we'll see here when we go into the broker. Let's watch it while it actually updates. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. There you go. Boom. We have all of our stocks. It automatically took $40,000 and allocated it exactly how Ray Dalio said it should, right? So you see TLT has that percentage. When we look at our percentages again here, this TLT should be 40%. What's 40% of 40,000? It is approximately that amount there, right? When we're looking at the S&P 500, it's again 30% of 40,000. It automatically calculated the amount of shares it should buy and automatically purchase them for you, right? So it's great. This is something that you could run. It will automatically rebalance and do this sort of stuff for you, okay? So it's very cool. These are strategies that work. What about something that maybe some of you guys are more interested in, like more fast-moving strategies? I know a lot of people are very interested in these sort of things, and this is actually where computers shine, right? Where you can buy things so quickly that no person could possibly keep up, right? A computer program can buy, that's one of the advantages of algorithmic trading. You could literally have a computer buy 1,000 times buy and sell before a human being could even open their computer to hit buy or open your phone for that matter, right? it's just that incredibly fast, right? So let's watch something that's a little bit faster, right? It's not crazy. It's not something that's absolutely ridiculous, but here's one that's kind of fun to watch. We call it Intraday Momentum, okay? I'll run this and I'll let you see kind of what it did here, and then I'll explain it and what it's doing so we can watch over some time. It bought a stock for us, and let's see what stock it bought. We just got to wait a little bit for it to show up. There we go. It bought gold. Okay. Why did it buy gold? Why did it decide to buy gold? Okay. So what this strategy does is it basically looks over these assets here. Okay. So, and let me actually show you a different way here. These assets, SPY, GLD, TLT, MSFT, and then a favorite of a lot of people, the Tesla, right? So it's looking at all these stocks over the past 2 minutes, okay? And whichever stock did the best over the past 2 minutes, just like our other momentum strategy, this one's a short-term momentum. It's looking per minute, whereas the other one's looking per day or several days. This is looking every 2 minutes, which one's doing the best, right? So in this case, gold has done the best over the past 2 minutes. You can see it has a negative 0.01% over the past 2 minutes, whereas Tesla's down 0.12, SPY is down 0.05, right? So gold was the one that's been doing the best so far in the past 2 minutes, okay? If we wait a little bit, you'll see that it still stay the same. I'm hoping that this is the thing about doing live trading, right? You're hoping that things change so you can actually show you how this switches. I assure you it does, but I don't know if the market's going to cooperate. But essentially what we're going to be doing is we're monitoring this again every minute, and then what has had the best returns over the past 2 minutes. I'm going to run this for a little bit longer, continue talking, but hopefully we'll see when this thing pops up. Hopefully we'll see us actually buy and sell these assets. So what will happen is if, let's say, Tesla all of a sudden has this big jump, some new news came out. So we're watching a bunch of stocks here. So if some news came out that Tesla's doing really well, it will automatically buy that stock and run with it, right? We'll see here, we had a division at 0. Basically what it does is it changed it here, Tesla. I believe it should have bought Tesla. We might have had a little snag there, but essentially what it would do is, yeah, so it sold gold. It didn't do the buy, which, something, a little snag happened there, but it's okay. Essentially what it would have done is it bought Tesla. So we swapped, saying swapping gold for Tesla, market order of gold to sell, and it was about to buy Tesla. We had a little bug, a little snag that came up, but that's all right. It was going to do that exact decision. So we'll solve this. This is probably a 5-minute fix for like some very small thing, but that's essentially what it was going to be doing, right? So you see that happening there. And then we also have another strategy as well, which is a stock screener. And what it does is it essentially looks at a universe of stocks. So look at, I think on Alpaca has 40,000 stocks. I'm not going to run it right now just because it takes such a long time to go through. But what it will do is it's like a stock screener. You guys can modify this to be anything. Basically what it'll do, I'll look over the whole universe of stocks on the NASDAQ, S&P 500, or anything else, NYSE. It will look at all those stocks and say which one has gone up the most. Or it could also do things like which one had the best profitability, which one has the best leverage ratios. If you guys work in finance, you can come up with all sorts of crazy things. Basically, it's a stock screener. It will automatically buy and sell stocks for you based on that information that you're getting about these stocks, right? So that's what our stock screener will do, right? So we have those different strategies for you. Again, we teach you how to build these strategies on your own, right? These are simply demos for you to work off of. So you can take these, you can modify them, and you'll be able to work with all this different code that we have here, right? Okay. So that concludes our demonstration of our trading bot. Any questions? All right. So while I'm waiting for you guys to put in your questions, I'll also tell you a little bit about kind of our program and some of the people that tend to be in it. I could tell you our current class, has a bunch of people from the banking industry. We have some great people for you to get to know when you join the class. We have an investment banker right now. We have someone from the private equity industry. We have some people that know how to code. So there's actually people that join that know how to code as well. And what they find from this is they're able to apply their knowledge to the finance industry. But we also have a lot of people that have never coded before, right? And actually, maybe this is a good time for me to show you this. I see that there's some questions coming in. I'll get to that in 1 second. But before I do that, I want to show you something very good, because this is something that you guys will definitely want to see. If you go to our website, lumiwealth.com, you can follow along with me. Go to the very bottom. At the very bottom, we have testimonials, okay? When you click on testimonials at the very bottom of our page, okay, what you'll see is some video reviews from our past students and existing students, okay? And you'll see a bunch of text reviews at the bottom as well. So you can read a lot about what people have done. One thing that I think is really cool, and I think you guys should see as well, is one of our students, if you click on this YouTube link here, I'm not going to play it too long because it's 5 minutes, but essentially, Python-based trading algorithm. Okay, hopefully it's not too echoey. But essentially, if you guys watch this video, this is one of our students, and he's done a really good job. He's actually built his own trading robot. I believe he's making 1 or 2% per day with his trading robot. I'm not saying everyone's going to be able to do that, but that is an astronomically good return. He's doing very well with his trading robot, and you could actually watch this here, and you can watch to see his trading robot working. He's one of our students, one of our very good students too. We're not even done the course yet, and he's already built his own bot that's automatically buying and selling stocks for him and making him money, right? So I'd highly recommend watching this video as well, so you kind of get a feel for what you will know and what you'll learn from coming through this course, right? So definitely at the bottom of the page, testimonials, right? Click on that testimonials down there, and you can watch the actual testimonial from him. This is him talking about Lumi Wealth, and then you can actually watch his trading bot in action, so you can see kind of what you're going to be able to build. All right. Okay, cool. So as I said, let's get to these questions. All right. So we have one question here. Do we host these on our own servers? Do you have templates for deploying to AWS or other cloud? Most of our students have this running on their own computers, but we can teach you how to do this on AWS as well. It's not very hard, right? We could show you exactly how to do that. We use AWS and very much suggest working with that. We also have, like I said, another course coming up soon, a machine learning course, and he teaches you how to do this on Google, right? And how to use Google's machine learning tools there too. So yes, we can help you getting this deployed on a server. My preference is definitely AWS. I love AWS, but you know, it's simple. It's just Python code. You can launch it on anything, right? Okay, so we've answered that. Now let's see, there's also something in the chat, I believe. It needs a minimum knowledge of finance to be able to follow the course. No, you do not. No, you do not. There are a lot of people in the course. So I mentioned we had investment bankers and that sort of thing, but we also just as well have a lot of people that don't have finance experience, right? I could tell you this actually, again, on the testimonials page, Renee does not have any finance experience at all, right? He's someone that's worked in data science, understands a little bit of computers, right? I wouldn't say he's like an incredible programmer either, but you know, he has some knowledge of it. And what he's taking this course for is actually to get that financial knowledge and learn how to apply basically his programming skills to the finance world. If you don't have programming skills, that's fine too, right? Like I said, this course, we take you from the very beginning, right? You don't need to know how to code. You don't need to know how to do anything in finance. We will teach you that. That is our job, is for you to come out of this and have a much broader understanding of the financial markets and a much better understanding of how to code and be able to build your own bots like this. All right. Okay, great. Any other questions that we have here? There's one more. Okay, perfect. There we go. Will there be a project per student? Yes. So there are 2 projects. So let me go over that again here. Let's go into the actual course. And you could actually read up about these a little bit. Like I said, lumiwealth.com, right? Get started today, right? You click on that. This is our buy page. This is where you'll actually be able to purchase that, read up about things, right? These actually have live purchase links, right? And then when we go through, sorry, the projects, there we go. you're going to be working on 2 projects throughout this course. Okay. The first project is going to be you learning how to analyze investment strategies, right? Which means that you're going to learn how to go off, analyze economic data, analyze stock trading data, and then do this back testing to see, is this a good strategy for me to be investing in? That's your first project, and you build this stuff out. What happens is people build out these projects and everyone gets to present every week, right? And everyone gets to present their project. You get to see, not only do you get to present yours and get feedback on yours from other people, but you also get to see other people's projects and how they've been able to do this, right? You could also choose to work together with another student, so you really can get to know other people and really build out things together. So not only do you get from this class the knowledge of the project, but you also get to know someone else, right? So that's the first project, is learning how to analyze investment strategies. The other one, the second project, is building out your own trading robot, right? And you're going to be able to learn how to build your own, right? We gave you examples. I'll give you an example. Like I said, we have this demo here. You could use the code and you could actually see how one works and actually even use our library to do that. But really the point of this is for you to come out of it with your own project, with your own trading robot, doing the things that you want it to do. And that's really what we're here to help you to do. All right. Okay. Next one. I don't know how easy or hard this may be, but I want to make money in the market. Still interested. I will check back with you guys when my place full at the point. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Definitely, this is one of those things, when you go through this course, we make this as easy as possible for you. That's why we highly recommend the live classes and why people tend to love them. We really will spend a lot of time with you to make sure that you can learn this stuff, to make sure that you can get through this and figure out how to do this on your own. And again, not only do you come out of this with the knowledge of building out a trading robot, but you're also going to come out of this with knowledge of how to code, which is, by the way, a very well-paid profession. As we've said, at the quant trading desk, they get paid the $350,000. But I could tell you, even just like regular jobs in banking, working in data science, the average salary is like $130,000 a year, right? So it's definitely a very good skill to learn, not only for building a trading bot, but also for your career and for advancing yourself in the finance world or anything else for that matter, right? Okay. All right. Any other questions? Is there a certificate that we use to get a job? Yes. We provide a certificate that you get after this. You can use that to go get a job. We also will get you in touch with recruiters. We'll get you in touch with companies. We'll help you with putting together your resume. So we spend a lot of time to actually help you get a job after the course as well. So, and one of those things is a certificate. Yeah. Okay. Learning curve Python will affect how soon one can put production bot. Yeah. So so basically, like I said, we teach you from scratch. We teach you how to build how to build things from Python from scratch. And one of the advantages also of the course is that you're going to get the instructor, which is going to be myself, could be someone else in the future, but I can tell you for the January, March classes, it's going to be myself. You could bring up your code. I'll help you actually go over this stuff, figure out, make sure that this is working properly, so that even if you are new to Python, we'll make sure that it doesn't have any issues. Right. And we'll also help you out with giving you this code to get started off of. So it's not something that's this giant, crazy learning curve. We make this specifically tailored so that by the end of the 12 weeks, you could actually have this bot working and ready to go. And I could tell you, like most of our students, except for the ones that actually specifically couldn't do things for, because they're moving across the country or whatever else, they come out of this course with a live trading robot. And I could tell you, even people that have never coded ever before in their lives have been able to do that too. So if you're thinking it's a crazy learning curve, it's not as crazy as you think it is. And we'll take you from the very beginning. All right. Okay. Any other questions? It's been good. It's been a lively group today. Perfect. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. If we offer the video training, does it run out? So the videos, if you want just the videos only, right? If there's a plan here, videos only, you'll be able to watch pre-recorded videos, right? These are our live sessions from the past. Obviously it's going to be a few weeks behind, right? Because, our live classes are live classes. But it's $99 per month. And as long as you're paying that monthly fee, you have access to all these videos and anything else that will come out in the future as well. All right. So hopefully that answers your question. If it didn't, please let me know if I need to elaborate on that at all. How many hours are needed per week during the course? Okay, yes, thank you. Awesome, great. So how many hours do we need per week for the course? The lectures are about an hour per week. Sometimes they go a little longer, sometimes they're an hour and a half, right? Sometimes they're a little shorter, sometimes they're 45 minutes. But basically, you attend that lecture. If you can't attend, we also give you the recorded one so you can watch it afterwards. We send them out like that night of, right? So you get access right away, okay? So just in case you can't make a class, right? And then the amount of hours they actually need to learn this stuff, we say anywhere from 5 to 15 hours, okay? So that it really depends, right? It depends on, do you have past programming experience or not? If you do, then obviously it's gonna be a little bit easier for you. If you don't, it might be a little further towards the 10 or 15. We also give you tools so you can get prepared before the class starts, so that when you do get started with the class, it's much easier for you to follow along. So we want to make things as easy as possible for you. And if you sign up to one of the classes right now, you'll actually get access to the past recordings for the lectures. And I mean, if you sign up for the live classes, you get the recordings from the last lectures, so you can get started early so that you can actually, when the class comes along, you'll really be able to move very quickly. But again, it's about 5 to 15 hours is usually what we recommend, right? And I'll say usually I rarely see someone put in 15 hours. It's usually closer to 5 to 10, right? Right. Yes. No, actually, no. The forming teams. So if you want to know if you can form teams in all 3 tiers, if you're paying for the videos only, that's one of the differences between the live classes and the videos only. Is the live classes, that's where you're going to get a lot of the feedback for your assignments. You're going to get the feedback for your projects. You're going to get to know everyone else in the class. You're going to be able to work on group projects together. That's really the advantage of the live classes, right? That's the difference between, if you get the videos only, you'll see all the recordings. If you want to join the live classes, then you're actually going to be able to speak with other people. You're going to get that live feedback. You're going to get, you'll be able to send out these projects. You'll be able to get feedback on that. You're going to get a lot of this live support through Zoom, and also be able to interact with a lot of these other students as well through Zoom, right? So that's something that's only available in the live classes, right? Oh yes, and one more thing also. So since you're talking about 3 tiers, if you join our project help or tutoring tier, right? So this one's going to get you a lot of live one-on-one help. It's 12 hours of live one-on-one help through video or phone or whatever it makes the most sense to you. I could tell you there's a lot of people here that actually join this for the tutoring. They have a specific project in mind. We'll help them build that project out. We can actually even develop a lot of things for you if you just want to have development work. And then when you join the tutoring, the project help, you also get access to live class, right? So not only do you get that live one-on-one help, but you also are able to join these classes as we discussed, the live classes, right? And you can pick whichever date makes the most sense for you, right? Okay, great. Any other questions? This has been good. It's been I like how lively everyone is today. It's fantastic. Day before New Year's. It's perfect. Okay, so I think that's probably it. I feel like we've covered a lot of things today. One thing I will recommend, and I will say, if you haven't done so yet, set up a call. You can go down at the bottom here, book a call, right? Testimony, it's all over our website, the book a call. You'll get a chance to speak to either myself or Alicia. If you have any other questions or if you want to go over any other details, we could walk you through whatever it is that you want to know, all right? So feel free to book a call. We're always happy to help and talk about this is I love doing this stuff, so I could talk about this all day long, right? So book a call if you want to speak about this or if you want to find out any more information. And again, check out those testimonials. Really, it says a lot. I mean, for me, I don't know about you guys, but for myself, if I'm ever buying a product, for me, it's really important to see how other people have done through that product and how they felt about it. So that's why we put this page up, and we specifically asked some of our students to record videos on this. So you can listen to them and don't take it from me, take it from them, right? And you see what they're able to accomplish and able to do, right? Okay, great. Well, thanks again for joining, guys. Fantastic conversation today. Oh, wait, one more. What instruments can be traded with this? So you could trade pretty much anything. We specifically teach you how to use Alpaca, right? Which is, it's just the easiest broker to get started with. But depending on the broker you want to go with, we could teach you how to trade crypto. We could teach you how to trade futures, options, you name it. There's any kind of assets really is possible with this sort of thing. Foreign exchange, yes, as well. Yeah. Forex is another big one that people ask about. You can definitely do that through this as well. All right. You know, you're probably not going to do that through Alpaca. You're probably going to want to do that. Either you could do it through an ETF if that's what you want to do, or we could set you up with TD Ameritrade, and TD Ameritrade has all these different assets that you can trade, foreign exchange, all sorts of stuff. We could set you up with crypto brokers to trade crypto. Really, it's the same techniques used throughout, right? And actually, that's why even in here, we have part of our code, we have brokers to make it very easy to add these in here. And we can show you exactly how to do that, right? Okay, so if FX is what you want to trade, absolutely, we can do that, right? Okay, cool, perfect. All right, great. So if you have any more questions, awesome. I'm glad our students love it. You know, our students definitely love this course. So definitely, if you're planning on joining, you know, you could talk to them, and I could tell you we've definitely had some very, very happy students coming out of this, right? So no problem. You're welcome. Great. So and add AI/ML. Yeah, exactly. And AI/ML is another. We're doing artificial intelligence, machine learning. That course is probably going to start in March. We're still putting it together, right? But that's something that we're going to be doing as well, right? So if you're interested in AI/ML, one thing I do have to say, if you want to join the AI/ML class, I would highly suggest they do this class first, or get to know Python first, because that one is an advanced class. This one we teach you from the very beginning. Our AI/ML class, just because the nature of it is a lot more difficult for people to learn. We do expect you to have some Python or data science skills going into it, right? Which we can teach you, right? We have these video classes that you can learn and actually learn that kind of stuff, or you can learn from our algo trading class. But I do recommend that for our AI/ML. For this one, not so much. For that one, yes, right? Okay, great. Once again, thank you guys very much for joining. I hope you guys have a happy, healthy, and safe New Year. And hope to speak with you on the phone soon, or hope to see you actually in our classes on our Zoom. And thank you for joining. Thank you. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Oh, wait, Q&A.
Oh, Q&A? Yeah, they're just saying thank you. Happy New Year's, guys. Bye. Thanks.